Righto folks, on this episode, it is Super Duty heaven. We're going to be taking you through this Rapid Red F250 with a GTX Canopy on the back. Stay tuned, let's get stuck into it. Getting started up the front, guys, this vehicle has a full Carly electric system with a suspension, so you can control compression and rebound and everything like that with inside the cab. It is a 4-inch lift. Now, fuel wheels wrapped in Nitto Ridge Grappler, 37 by 12.5. This thing is an absolute weapon of a vehicle. There wasn't too many other accessories fitted onto the car, but one thing it does have is our GTX Canopy. So starting on the roof of this canopy, the customer has two Enerdrive 190-watt panels that'll link back up to the electrical system. Now, inside the canopy, our GTX model. So our GTX predominantly is designed for that storage side of things. And when we get around to the other side of the canopy, you can see it has a functional kitchen side, all that kind of stuff, but storage on the GTX is massive, especially on a US truck. You do get a hell of a lot of depth. I think off the top of my head, it's close to 1100 mil from the inside of the door back to the dividing wall. Customer has gone for a Clearview ES220 Plus drop-down fridge slide, so we can have the second fridge on this side of it. Standard features, ARB, twin compressor and air hose reel. Under tray boxes as well, as standard. Now on some of the US trucks, the amount of storage that you have in these is phenomenal. You obviously get a rear and a front under tray box with the US trucks. Standard things like central locking and all that kind of jazz with the V1 range. Now with our V2 range, it is an option to add central locking to the under tray boxes. It doesn't come standard. With the V1 for water underneath the chassis, so there's two 80-litre tanks. Now for you guys at home, changing over or upgrading to that V2 platform where it's a tray and a canopy on top, for a 2350 long tray like this vehicle would have, you'd have an option to do one tank and a 1600 mil long trundle draw, two tanks and a 1300 mil or 1200 mil long trundle draw, or three tanks and a 990 mil trundle draw. The new tanks with the V2 range are 50 litres each compared to the 80 like we have in the V1 range. So for a F truck like this with the V2 range, you could still have 150 litres of water storage and a 990 mil trundle draw. That water storage really is critical when you're out and about and touring around. Righto, moving around to the back of this vehicle, the customer has opted to go twin tyre carriers on the back, which sit on the little rear deck. Customer's also gone the Nomad rear ladder. Now, if you are looking to access the roof of your canopy, that Nomad ladder surely does make things easy getting up and down. With the angle, the 15-degree angle and the flip-up handle at the top, it does make things really, really easy to access the roof. A couple other little things you guys may not be able to see is the integration of Safety Dave twin camera on the back here. It does give you two cameras, one wide angle and one narrow, and you can adjust them to look up and down. Rear tailgate camera gets reintegrated back into the rear clip again, along with the parking sensors. Rear trundle drawer, so this customer has added on the trundle drawer lid at the back. One thing with the Nomad ladder on the V1 is you do have some restrictions with the lid due to how long the ladder sits out the back, but that rear lid does give you a nice working surface, whether it's making lunch on the side of the road or getting your fishing gear set up. Any flat surface on anything, whether it's your kitchen at home or your car on the road, the more flat surface you can have, the better. Twin tyre carriers, as I said, airbags being reintegrated back into the tow bar. Moving back around this side. Righto, onto the business side of the canopy now. Starting off at the top, Bushwhacker Extreme Darkness 270-degree awning. It does have the D-zip hole in the back so you can get through for access up to the roof, even when you have the awning set up. Now, getting into the canopy. As I said earlier, this is our GTX internal layout. The storage that you have on the other side is still complemented by how much storage you have on this side of it as well. So typically we find customers who go with the GTX model, maybe somebody who's towing a caravan, but they're going to do a few nights or a week here or there living out of the vehicle, but not predominantly full-time touring around in the car. So that storage side is a complement to the GTX, but also on this side you still have a functional area for food, knives, cutlery, bowls, plates, all that kind of stuff as well. Starting at the front, there's the main switch panel, which holds your Fusion stereo controller, your Enerdrive ePro, switches and fusing. Now, with the large US trucks, or what we call a large canopy, which is 1,080 high, we can fit the 140 litre. It's Dometic's new NRX in all of the range now. Internal drawers, travel buddy, and then you still get one large drawer down this side with the pull-out table. So this thing, having a decent lift, similar to mine, with 37-inch tyres in it. Things do start to get high, so that's one thing if you're setting up your new touring vehicle. Just be mindful on the outcome. That's all we try and talk to customers all the time. It is cool, don't get me wrong, Instagram and YouTube, everybody loves a big jacked up truck, but for practicality, keeping things reasonable is probably a good idea. For what this customer's using it for, it's definitely going to suit what he wants, and I'm sure the customer's going to love it. Standard inclusions with the GTX, so rock lights up in the doors, the Fusion speakers integrated into the doors as well, along with lighting and all that kind of stuff. The GTX really is a very good platform for that person that's either work or play, or someone who may be towing a camper trailer, or the boys truck where you want to get out and go and do a fishing trip and live out of the vehicle for a week on that once or twice a year boys trip. It definitely is a decent platform and something to consider. Righto legends, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a like, subscribe and ring that bell notification to stay up to date with all of Core Off-Road's latest videos and products that are on YouTube. If you're looking for the new V2 range, about more videos on our new trays, have a look here, and more videos on the new V2 canopies, check out down here. Hope you've enjoyed the video and thanks for tuning in. We really do appreciate it, and Merry Christmas to all of yous.